Hello, good morning, students. How are you doing today? You are welcome to this amazing class. I believe you are all prepared for the class. Kindly get your writing materials. Your notebook, your biro, your pencil, your ruler, and get seated like a prince and princess. As you all know, my name is Vera, okay? I'm a Greek science tutor. We'll be looking into an interesting topic together this morning titled Anemone fish. Anemone fish. That is the topic we are looking towards today. Anemone fish. I will employ us to cooperate very well, avoid distraction as we continue with the topic. Before we look to the meaning of anemone fish, I want us to take note of the objective of the lesson. Remember, in every class, you are meant to know the objective, which is a statement that describes what you are expected to know or learn at the end of every topic. As regards this topic, anemone fish, you are expected to define fields or anemone fish precisely, state types of anemone fish, explain each type of anemone fish. Very important. Take note of this objective as it will guide you in every of the concepts we will be explaining. Meaning of anemone fish or the definition of anemone fish. Before we go right to the definition, I want to ask us a question. Do you require food adequately for your body to function effectively? Does your body system require food to function effectively as human being? If your response is yes, likewise animals, their body system require food in order to function adequately. As such, we define fish as food required by livestock, which consists of some basic components which can be built up or broken down into complex and simple form of carbohydrates, fat, protein, vitamin, and minerals. Take note of the definition. It's a very simple definition. Food required by livestock. They are food required by livestock, which consists of some basic components which can be built up or broken down into complex and simple form of carbohydrates, fat, protein, vitamin, and minerals. When you look to this definition, you discover that the food required by livestock must contain basic components, which I will underline: carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamin, and minerals. All these must be there for the body system to function effectively. The classes of food. We should take our mind back to classes of food, which I believe we all know, and as well stated here. Even as man, your food must contain all these classes of food for it to be regarded as balanced meal. All right. The next one we are looking into is types of anemone fish. Types of anemone fish. The first one we have here is roughages. Secondly, we have concentrate, supplement, and ration. These are the four types of anemone fish: roughages, concentrate, supplement, and ration. We are going to explain this concept one after the other. Take note of that. The types of anemone fish. Let's look to the meaning of roughages. Roughages. Roughages are anemone fish which are high in fiber content. They are high in fiber content and therefore relatively less digestible. They are less digestible. I will underline the word less digestible. less digestible. They are high in fiber content and relatively less digestible. The fiber content in these fields are high. As a result, they are less digestible. They find it difficult to digest in the system of these animals. They can be given either dry or wet. These feeds can be given to the animals either dried or wet, and are mainly obtained from forage or fresh or dry vegetable matters like fresh grasses. Could be grasses. As you can see in this diagram, this is a very good example of roughages. It can be derived from, these roughages can be derived from grasses, fresh grasses or dried grasses, vegetable materials, grasses. We have cereal crops, cereal, legumes. As you can see, generally we have cereal crops here. The crops present here are cereal crops. You have legumes, we have root crops grown for grazing animals. These are source of roughages. Remember the source of roughages: fresh or dry vegetable matters like fresh grasses, cereal crops, legumes, roots, and tuber crops generally. Meaning roughages mainly contain carbohydrate. They mainly contain what? Carbohydrate. Take note of that. And the source as well can be from silage. We have silage. Take note. We have hay. We have straw, and we have chaff. These concepts are very important in roughages. Hay, straw, and chaff. We are going to explain this concept, what silage is. Silage refers to plant materials partly fermented in air used in feeding animals. Plant materials partly fermented in air. These materials must be fermented before they are used in feeding the animals. They are not just cut from their vegetative state or fresh and directly given to animals. No, they must be fermented before it can be used in feeding the animals. Secondly, we have hay. They are plant material like grasses and legumes, cut at their vegetative stage, dried and baked for feeding animals. They are cut at their vegetative stage, unlike silage, which is fermented. In terms of hay, when they are cut at the vegetative stage, they are dried and baked for feeding farm and used in feeding farm animals. Another one, we have straw. Straw. They are dry plant materials and crop residue. Take note of this word, crop residue. The remain of crops and are used in feeding farm animals. We have chaff. Chaff. Chaff is simply the husk of the seed, which is separated from the main grain. They are separated from the grain. Take, for example, we have husk of rice, we have that of beans, we have melon. Different grains have husk. They are mainly separated from the grain. I will encourage us to pick up any grain in our house, in our home there. Take it, remove the chaff. You will see the grain inside. The coverage of the grain is what we refer to as chaff. So this main chaff is used in feeding farm animal. Is that taken? Let's take note of where we started from. Very important. Let's take note of where we started from. The definition of animal feeds as food required by livestock that consists of some basic components that can be built up or broken down into complex and simple form of carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, and minerals. Very important. The definition is very important. Take note of that. We have mentioned types of animal feeds, which include roughages, concentrate, supplement, and ration. We are presently explaining, we have explained ration, still we are there. Feeds which are high in fiber content and relatively less digestible. And we have given examples of roughages, fresh grasses, legumes, cereals, silage, hay, straw, and chaff, which we have explained now. Take note of this. Let's look to the second one, concentrate. What is concentrate? These are feeds or food mixture which supply primary nutrients such as carbohydrate, protein, and fat. They are high energy giving fuels with low fiber content. I want us to take note of the word low fiber content. Low fiber content. And are therefore easily digestible. Underline the word easily digestible. Very important. Take note of this word. Opposite of roughages is what we refer to as concentrate. Roughages is relatively less digestible with high fiber content, while concentrate is of low fiber content and easily digestible. Example, we have groundnut cake, cotton seed meal, we have palm kernel cake, and cotton seed meal. We have mentioned that, cotton seed meal. Then we have coconut seed meal as well as examples of concentrate. Groundnut cake, cotton seed meal, coconut seed meal, bone meal, and so on. They are all good source of protein for the animals. Remember, the foods given to this animal must contain all classes of food. When you look to the first description on roughages, all the examples given there are carbohydrate food. Concentrate contains what? Protein. They are proteinous in nature. Cotton seed meal, groundnut cake, we have bone meal. There are many examples of concentrate. They are all sorts of what? Protein. Take note of that. Very important. Supplement. They are feeds given to animals in order to supply a deficient nutrient. These are feeds given to farm animals in order to supply deficient nutrients. They are rich in protein as well and may contain reasonable amount of vitamin and minerals. Meaning the feeds must contain what? All classes of food. We have carbohydrate, we have protein, we have vitamin, we have minerals and fats. All feeds given to animals must contain all the classes of food. We have example, fish meal, blood meal, milk byproducts, bone meal, groundnut cake. Animals that are having a deficiency in a particular food are given supplements. Any food given to them is what we refer to as supplement food. It could be the animal is having a deficiency in mineral. The food given to this animal in order to supply mineral is what we refer to as supplements. If the animal is having a deficiency in vitamin, any food given to supply vitamin is what we refer to as supplement as well. If the animal is having a deficiency in protein, the food given to this animal in order to supply protein is what we refer to as supplement. The animal is not lacking all the classes of food. A particular food type that the animal is lacking, when such food is supplied to the animal, then you are giving supplement meal to such animal. Supplement food to such animal. Example, we have mentioned them before. Take note of that. Fish meal, blood meal, milk byproduct, bone meal, groundnut cake. There are many. Many foods given to farm animals to supply a deficient nutrient is what we refer to as supplements. I believe we are all following. Are you there? I believe we are all following this class. All right, let's look to the other one, which is the last one, ration. The last one is called ration. Take note of that. Ration refers to the sum total. Take note of the word sum total of food required by animals for a day. The sum total of food required by animal for just one day. All the food required by animal for a day is what we refer to as ratio. There are different types of ratio. The first one we have here is maintenance ration. Maintenance ration. This is the amount of feeds needed just to keep an animal alive and to keep its weight constant. The amount of feeds needed just to keep animals alive and to keep their weight constant. If you have a farm, take for example a poultry farm, if the birds are not well fed, what do you think will happen? It can lead to malnutrition. The animals will be affected. Different diseases can attack such animals, and their weight will reduce. Maintenance ration is very important to keep these animals alive. If animals are not given maintenance ration, there will be high mortality rate in the farm. Take note of this, very important. Maintenance ration is given to them in order to keep them alive and as well to keep their weight constant. The weight of animals should be increasing, not reducing. When maintenance ration is given to them, it will definitely be increasing their weight instead of reducing it. Their weight ought to be increasing, not reducing. The second one is production ration. Production ration. This is the type of ration which contains enough nutrient for growth. Take note of that. For growth, maintenance, and production. And what? Production. Please take note of the word production. This feed is given to this animal for growth and for production especially. Very important. Because of the word production ratio. You know, animals are kept by farmers for the production of either milk, for meat, for wool, different reasons why farmers keep animals. It could be as a result of milk, as a result for them to derive meat, for egg, for wool, and for different reasons. So the amount of food given to them, for them to have good quality of this product, is what we call production ratio. Remember, the quality of the animal's product depends on the quantity and quality of feeds given to them. The quality of the animal's product depends on the quantity and the quality of feeds given to them. When they are given enough feed, the quality of the feed will increase. The feeds will increase in quality and in quantity because they are well fed. So such food given to them for adequate production is what we refer to as production ratio. The last one is balanced ratio. Balanced ratio. This is very important. Even we human beings, we require balanced ratio. Your meal or your food must be balanced. It must contain all classes of food. It must contain what? All classes of food. There are people that will eat carbohydrates all through the day. Within 1 week, you are feeding on carbohydrate meal. I think that is not good enough. Your food must be balanced per day. In a day, you should be able to eat food that contain at least 70% of all the classes of food. So when your food contains all the classes of food, it is referred to as balanced ratio. Is that taken? A ration is said to be balanced if it contains all food nutrients, all the classes of food, such as protein, carbohydrate, vitamins, mineral, fat, and oil in adequate amount and in the right proportion. Not just to give the animals, I think I had to give because the animal requires balanced ration. The food given to them, this ration must be in adequate amount and in the right proportion. Very important. Are we following? Take note of the 3 types of ration: maintenance ration, production ration, and balanced ration. All right. And don't forget what supplement feeds are, and as well concentrate. Very important. You should be able to give examples of concentrate meal or concentrate fields. You should be able to give example of supplement fields, and you should be able to give example of ration or the food nutrient which ration contain. Pick up your biro now as you are seated there, and your notes, I believe you are with it. Write out 3 examples each of 3 classes of food. Write out 3 examples each of 3 classes of food. Remember, not types of animal fields, classes of food. 3 classes of food. Write out 3 examples. Okay, let's take, for example, classes of food. Example, we have carbohydrate. You should be able to mention 3 fields or 3 food that fall under carbohydrate. If you are picking protein, you should be able to mention 3 food under protein, nearest food. Very important. Write it out now. 3 classes of food, 3 examples each. I believe you are all there. You are writing it. That is good of you. You can drop your pen now. All right. Okay. We have come to the end of the class for today. And I expect us to write this assignment. Very important. Give 4 examples of 1. Roughages. 2. Concentrate. 3. Supplement. 4. Ration. That is the assignment you are expected to write. Listen very well. Your assignment should be on word processing. Your assignment should be written on word processing. And send your assignment to the email I am going to call now. I believe you are with your biro. vera.okenye@greenlandhall.org. 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 This is the email address you are sending the assignment to. Is that taken? Thank you for being part of this class. I remain Vera Okenye. Bye.